But I think what really has affected me is when the doctor said that I am 2 years below my age, and then I suddenly started to believe that I'm actually like 2 years younger than my brain is like 2 years younger than myself, and that's when it really got me. And I just started believing that I'm kind of immature. I'm not that good compared to other girls, and I just like believe, and I'm mostly comfortable with other guys because they are like goofy, like they're goofy and like they're different from the girls, right? They're more sportive,
Yeah.
and
So
so I just like
yeah,
feel like I'm different from them.
yeah. So it's true that some doctors want to group you into a group that's younger and say your brain is younger than your actual age. I don't think you should pay a lot of attention to that. When we look at children and adolescents and we work with them and we assess their brain function, we find there's a big spectrum. So some people are ahead of their group and some people are less ahead of the group. Catch up can take place. So everyone may be about the same by the time they go to college. So I don't agree with the doctors who have told you that, oh, you're immature. I would not use that term at all. And
So
so don't put yourself into that position that you think something's wrong with me. I'm not like the others. I'm less mature. I don't agree with that. I think you should always uh, think for yourself and be
but
yourself.
but do you
Reach
think
your
that
own full potential.
But do you think that most schools, like in most schools, like people who have attention deficit or disorder, um, and they autism, do you think that this generation is kind of harder for them now to cope with, or is it easier because you know how teenagers are, right? Do you think it's easier for them to cope up with them?
Yeah. So the labeling of people with attention deficit disorder right now indicates that about 1 in 12 people, children, especially 1 in 12 children, will have some form of attention deficit disorder. That's quite a lot. In a class of 100 people, can you imagine about seven of them, right? 7 or 8 of them would have some variety of attention deficit disorder. So that's quite a large number, it's almost 1 in 10, right?
Hmm.
We cannot say that there's something wrong with them. They are part of this neurodiverse group of humanity. So they just haven't realized their full potential in certain ways that society looks on as being important. But society may change, right? So the way I would suggest you look at yourself is that there are certain areas that you have weaknesses and certain areas you have a lot of strengths. I mean, you speak very well. You obviously are a very smart person from the questions you asked me. I'm sure that you're a lot smarter than many of the children you're talking about, even the girls who seem to be very mature and behaving maturely, but you're probably smarter than them.
But I just like don't get why like sometimes I just believe that I'm dumb. I believe that sometimes I'm dumb. I am not smart because of grades, and I've been having this conscious. There's been a huge controversy between grades and me, right? Because sometimes I believe that grade does like prove who you are as a person. It does get into my head, and there are some schools that have abolished grades. Like have you like there's American? I think the teacher once mentioned that I think the Stonehill International School, I guess, is not does not have grades in the spectrum now. So like I am from Canadian International School, and they like because there are a lot of Indians and there's a lot of Indian influence. Like grades are a very important part of our school, and sometimes it does affect us because
Yeah,
we don't like show our full potential because of grades, because grades affect our mental well-being, and some people who have high grades don't notice that. And we have honor rolls, honor accolades. I don't get why is it there in my school. It's like kind of like classifying us into different groups.
yeah, that's the typical school system. The typical school system works for maybe 60% of the students and doesn't work for 40% of the students. that that really bright students who later on in life succeed in many areas of human endeavor and work never did well in school. They could be top athletes, they could be top musicians, they could be top artists, they could even be top IT professionals or bankers or doctors or lawyers. But if you speak to a lot of people, you'll find that a lot of them did not do well in school and did not get good grades in
I know.
school.
I think I know
So
several
you're not
cases.
determined by the grades at all. That's only
Yeah.
a very small part of what you're capable of.
Do you know like there was do you know single Avril Lavigne? Sorry, I mean I'm actually into music. So I've actually like
Yes,
you
I
know
know who she
Meryl
is.
Adam Levine and Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
So they actually researched on them because I'm a music junkie and I really like
Ah,
music a
okay,
lot.
great.
And then I've actually researched that both of them have one of them has ADHD and one of them has no, sorry, two of them have ADHD because Avril Lavigne was different from the others. She was like more goofy like me. I somehow relate to her because
Oh,
she is goofy, she is fun, and she's very revealing as a person. Like, have you noticed like most of the girls, right? Like most of the girls are not are different, but they just want to be mature. But sometimes they're not comfortable with who they are, right? And the thing that I like even though she's a musician, like there are many other there and many other there are many other music artists, like for example Kelly Clarkson. But sometimes I think I relate to Avril Lavigne is because even she is revealing, she reveals her nature like Adam Levine, and that's what I'm really proud of. And sometimes I'm proud of that, but like in schools, like most of the majority of them don't have ADD, autism, and I sometimes believe that I'm an outcast.
okay. So when you look at others, right, you really don't know what they have or don't have. So I can tell
Yes.
you statistically, you definitely have classmates who have some of these problems and would be classified as neurodiverse. Uh, Not all of them even know about it. They all feel that in certain areas they don't perform as well. They all have their self doubts. This is very common when you're young, even when you're older. Every human being will have self doubts. And if we start comparing ourselves to others, those self doubts can grow. So I think the best thing you can do for yourself, if I might gently suggest, is you already seem to understand and have insight that your grades are not you. That's correct. That is an absolutely great insight.
Uh,
So do
uh,
remember, grades are not you. You are you. You know yourself the best. And if anything, you know your strengths and weaknesses, or you will keep understanding your strengths and weakness as you go through life. And then
but
at some point in
I want
time, you'll find out what works best for you. So you're in the phase of finding out more about yourself, which is always very interesting and exciting.
I want to raise this issue because in school, especially like in schools, most of them say that grades are counted as part of colleges. And actually I do have evidence on many people stressing out. Like there have been some of my class which have been stressing on grades and stuff, and they just come earlier and they just start panicking, and they just lose out a lot of time on who they are as a person. They just focus on their grades more. Do you think that colleges should not only accept people with grades but also accept people are who 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 believe that they're good at something?
Yeah, that's slowly changing. Many universities now, the more forward and enlightened universities, always look at the whole person when they accept students. So it's not just your grades anymore. It's about who you are as a person, what have you done, or what obstacles have you tried to overcome in your young life. So that's also a very important part of how you can get into some of the good universities now.
And but what about the Ivy League?
The Ivy League is just a concept of something that is superior and perfect, but it's not. So I've talked to many people who went to Ivy League universities, and I would say that I'm not convinced that There are not people, there are many more people who went to normal universities who are very capable as them and have even done far more in their lives than those who have gone to Ivy League universities. So I feel that the education system brainwashes
Like,
children to feel that they have to get the best grades and go to the best universities. And you know, whether it's in your home country or whether it's overseas, and universities all get graded as to the top to the bottom, and that's, I think, not a healthy thing at all.
I completely agree with you. It's been because it does play a huge role in what people actually think. Like these days, people just want to get to the Ivy League, like Stanford, Harvard, and stuff. But why is it called the Ivy League? I know it's about the football association and stuff, but still, why does it only? Why is it? Why is it? Why are all the colleges clubbed as Ivy League?
Oh, I see. So the old name for the Ivy League came because most of these universities were in the northeast part of the United States, in colder climates where the buildings were made out of stone, and the ivy plant used to grow along the walls. So that's why
That's the
they,
stupidest reason
so
ever.
that's why
Sorry.
they ended up being called Ivy League universities, because they actually were ivy plants growing on the walls of those universities. It's
That
quite
was actually
funny,
a
right?
stupid reason why they actually.
Yes. But the name is stuck because these are the original founding universities of the United States, and many of them, emulated the top universities in the UK, which also had ivy growing on their walls because of the weather in the UK and similar weather in New England, right? New England was the initial part of the United States that was colonized by the English. So it's an old-fashioned name.
Nice. Um, and I want to ask some about. I want to ask you something about what you learned when you were a teenager. I know it's been like many years, but what did you
Yes.
learn?
So as a teenager, I felt very much like you. You know, I felt, wow, why am I different from everyone else? Uh, and because you have your internal dialogue, all of us, as we're growing up, have this voice in our head telling us what we are and what we are not. And often we're trying to compare ourselves to others. And I will always thought, wow, this other people, they're so good at cricket or so good at football, or they're so good at English or so good at maths. How come I'm not? You
You
know,
never played
so
any sport?
so I didn't do enough sports when I look back. The reason was that I was studying too much. So I used to overstudy, partly because I have a bit of OCD. So I'm a
Yeah.
perfectionist. I like to
I
do
got
things.
something from my mom.
Yeah, so I like to do things over and over again and waste time because actually it's not important. It's actually not important getting the top grade for a particular subject when you're 12, 13, 14, and 15 years old, because life is very long. There are
Then why?
many better things you can do just apart from studying. But luckily, I did some music. I found music was very good for me. I used to play the clarinet in the school band, and I quite enjoyed that. I played the piano just for my own enjoyment at home, and I quite enjoyed that. So I found that music was quite calming and relaxing for me.
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that because I'm a singer and
Nice.
I actually really like singing a lot. And do you have this habit of playing music while you're studying? No, wait, sorry,
Yes,
sorry, not studying. I meant to say like when you're doing your work.
yes, I do. I do like to listen to music when I'm doing my work.
Because my mom like says that she doesn't like listen to any music, and she's kind of surprised often like how I listen to music while doing work. and and I just like believe that I was the only one who actually had this weird habit of like listening to music. But then I
It's actually
realized
very
that
common. It's very, very common.
then why does my mom not listen to music then?
No, I
That's
mean,
actually
humanity is so diverse, right?
yeah.
So there are a certain percentage of people who can work and listen to music. There's some people who feel they can't do that. There's nothing wrong with either of them. It's just what you feel what's best for you.
Yeah. And so so you say that music has Has music actually played a role in your life?
But
Has
yes,
it
it has.
helped? So like it does help you contemplate about the things you have done before, right? Because sometimes it does help me because you can reflect on what you have done in the past, and sometimes like
Certainly.
music does boost your thinking level, right?
Yes, it does. Yes. So music itself can be a form of brain therapy. There is a field called music therapy. People actually go into this field and they get a master's in it, and then they help other people by choosing music that can help different parts of the brain. It's a very powerful field.
Wait, can you repeat that again? Because it kind of like struck me a bit.
Music therapy. So music therapy is using music to help people heal with any kind of
So,
problem.
so am
It
I
helps
healing a
healing.
person? Am I healing
Yeah.
a person when I'm singing?
You're healing yourself.
No, but like, am I healing others because I'm singing to them?
Oh, yes, of course you can.
So, I'm actually, it's kind of interesting what you said because I finally find like after like talking to you about my challenges and stuff, it was very comfortable talking to you about this. No, it is comfortable talking to you about this because I can somehow relate to a person. I can somehow now feel more confident of who I am as a person after talking to you
That's great.
because when I'm having because actually I did have a script with me, and I actually didn't want to refer to the script because I just wanted to have a natural flow.
I think that's great. Much better. You're very good at doing this. You're like a professional journalist. And believe me, I've been interviewed by many professional journalists.
Yeah. Um. Thank you so much for your time.
Not
It
at all.
really
Vedika, let's keep in touch. I'm very happy and to keep
is it
talking to
fun if
you.
you
And
could. I might actually like set up a program like where you could actually come. Can you come to my school like to just talk to the students
sure,
in my. I'll
I think that's
I'll just
possible.
ask
I don't
this.
know when though. I'll have to work
I'll
with
just
your
ask the
mom.
principal.
But it's so
But
lovely meeting with you. I'm very impressed by you. I think you're very smart. You're very mature in the way you can talk to adults. So you should be proud of yourself.
thank you so much.